Joining us now is William Cohen. He's the chairman and CEO of the Cohen Group and former defense secretary under President Clinton. It's great to have you here on the Newsline, sir. And what would you say are the likely steps, as we have all heard this Wednesday date for days now being bandied about as a possible invasion?
It's too hard to say. I think it's a mistake to try and pick a date. President Putin has a lot of options available. We know that there are European leaders who are still scheduled to meet with him. And frankly, he's already won his point. He has said in the past that we're not listening to him. We're not paying attention to him. Well, the world is listening to him. All roads in the past 2 or 3 weeks have been leading to Moscow. So he, at this point, could say, I've made my point. I think I'll ease off here and continue the diplomacy. And by the way, that may give me more of an opportunity to plan how I'm going to circumvent the Western imposition of sanctions. So he has more options available than anyone else, and I think it's a mistake to say at what date he may move, because it's still possible he may move back. Unlikely, but nonetheless, nothing is impossible until it happens.
If we were to say that an invasion does not happen here, do you think Ukraine should pursue NATO membership?
No, not at all. NATO is open to every nation, but it has a very steep set of stairs to climb. And so I don't think that Ukraine is anywhere near a qualification for NATO. You have to have unanimous consent to get into NATO membership, so it's a long way off. I don't think any country should ever say, I give up on freedom. This is something that every Western nation, to be sure, says is at the heart of our society, the ability to be free from intimidation, from fear, from gangsterism, from fascism, etc. So to tell the Ukrainians that they should give up their quest for freedom, I think is something that we wouldn't ask of ourselves. So no, you should never give up the quest for freedom. And frankly, we should try to persuade the Russians that, hey, look what the Ukrainians are doing. You could have some of this as well, but you're living in a kleptocracy and under the roof and the jail of the Russians.
The net result here for most investors and people in the U.S. is if nothing happens, they're going to ignore the situation. You know, it basically just falls off of the radar. Do you think that's right?
I don't think it'll fall off the radar. I don't think that this has just been a training exercise by the Russians. I think what Putin is saying is, I can do this, and I will do this unless certain guarantees are made to me. But he's asking the impossible. He's saying, guarantee to me that Ukraine will never be free, will never enjoy Western freedom, because freedom is a threat to my existence. Freedom is a threat to the Russian people. They'll see that I've been ripping them off. The oligarchs have been ripping them off for billions, if not trillions of dollars. So that is what is frightening to Putin. It's almost a line out of the Wall Street movie with Gecko. Saying, look, if you stop lying about me, I'll stop telling you the truth about you. What the West has to do is to continue to engage in an information warfare that we tell the people in Russia and those countries that are under the heel and boot of imperialism or fascism or simply living in a totalitarian state, that it's natural for you to want to be free, and you should always look to the United States and the West as an example. But unfortunately, those in Russia, those in China say democracy is dying. It is nearly dead, and look how it is so divided. They can't make decisions, and therefore you need to have strong leadership. And so we're actually offering you a method of organizational principles that will give you safety, security, and stability. You don't get that in the West. It's too chaotic. So there's a real challenge going on a geopolitical basis about which system creates the most freedom, the most wealth, the most prosperity, and security.
Well said.
That will take place.
William Cohen, thanks for your time. We appreciate it today.
Anytime. Thank you.
William Cohen with the Cohen Group.